Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fantasy Football Universe, where we are so excited to talk week one that Jesse's sitting in the middle making weird faces. You really look surprised there. I don't know. Are you that shocked that week one is finally here?
Oh, yeah, baby. I'm ready to roll. Let's go.
All right. We are here for some week one AFC home game previews, with the exception of game two, because game two is two NFC teams, but it's in Brazil. So, anyways, we had to get it out of the way because it's Friday. I am Aaron St. Dennis. Follow me at FF Mad Scientist, joined by that way Jesse Moeller at JMoeller05 and Jeremy Schulman at FF_Rebel. You guys excited for this or just happy to finally get this shit on with?
Oh, I'm pumped. We've been doing this for 8 months now. Like, I'm absolutely pumped to get something away. All this work.
Yeah.
Come to fruition, baby. Let's go.
Football, meh. We'll see.
Not like we've been, we're working our ass off for the past year. Yeah.
Christmas morning, God damn it. This is like Christmas Eve right here, ready for kickoff tomorrow. I can't wait.
Yeah, at some point it's just like, oh, screw it. Let's get into this already. After feels like what draft coverage started in February, the moment the Pro Bowl ends and the Super Bowl ends, and we've just been going straight. So it's nice to actually, have something to talk about here. So we are going to start with, what is our kickoff here? Thursday night is Baltimore at Kansas City. Start with the quarterbacks. Two of the best, probably your consensus top four. We've got Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson. What are your thoughts here, guys? I know this is not exactly the groundbreaking way to start it off, because it's basically just to start these guys and move them on. But how high up are we this week in our rankings for these two? I have them as 2 and 3 with Josh Allen at number 1.
I have them in 3 and 4.
You're way too low. You're way too low.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I have Hurts. I have Hurts as basically 1A with Allen, and then it's Lamar and Mahomes. My bad, guys. Real crap of the party here.
I will say I have Lamar over Mahomes for fantasy purposes, but of course Kansas City is going to win that game. So.
All right, let's get on to a more interesting segment here. The running back. So we've got the Ravens have a whole new look here. Well, no, I guess not. They've got Justice Hill, but Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, Rasheen Ali. KC's got Isaiah Pacheco, Samaje Perine, who apparently is totally going to completely ruin Isaiah Pacheco, and Carson Steele, who I guess is going to be, a big role in this offense despite never stepping foot on an NFL field. That's what Twitter would have you believe. What are your thoughts here, guys, on Pacheco and Henry? Have you losing faith here in Pacheco going into it? Is Henry the silent value of the offseason? What do you think?
Yeah, like with Henry, anytime they're not favored, he's going to be low in my rankings just because he's super game script dependent. Guess what? They're playing the Chiefs. I don't have them winning this game, so Henry's going to be lower. That's kind of is what it is. This will probably be one of the lower rankings I have for Henry all season. He's my RB13. Pacheco's my RB14. They're both right there. I do like Pacheco more in these like neutral game script environments just because he does a little bit more pass catching. But to your point, Piron, I think this high RB2s, like possible back end RB1s. I like both of them. If you have them in your lineup, you'll be happy.
Yeah, I have Henry's my RB9. He's great. He's going to score at least once. He might score twice. He's got to get it in the first half probably, but I'm not ruling that out. We know that Baltimore will be able to move the ball. Chiefs defense is still very good, not as prolific as they've been the last year or two, I think, but that's not going to be a problem. Still, this is a shootout, and Henry gets in the end zone at least once, so fire him up.
I need to update my rankings because somehow I have him the lowest of anyone. I have him at RB11, which is never the case because I'm the high guy on Derrick Henry. I use your theory of I never have him high in my rankings when I have the Ravens projected to lose, but I don't ever project the Ravens to lose. So that's why he's always high in my rankings. So I've got him at 11. I've got Pacheco at 14. Where do you guys have Pacheco?
He's same spot. Yeah, they're 13, 14 for me.
12 for me.
Yeah.
All right.
Pacheco's going to be in that range all season for me.
Anyone else you're interested in flexing here? Hill, Ali, Perine, I guess, is the obvious one. Carson Steele. I'm not putting any of them in my. Yeah, have we really lost anyone to serious injury already that you would be forced to start one of these guys in your flex in week 1?
No.
I don't think so, right?
Ali might not even play. Like he's been dealing with that injury. Yeah, so I don't think he's going to play. I'd say the one guy you can make a case for is if this game flips and goes a negative environment, that's where Perine's going to get a lot of PPR points. So if you're in a PPR league and maybe it's a deep dynasty, you need a flex worthy guy, you can go Pirine and it could work out for you. But like if they're dominating early and like they're just controlling the tempo and doing that, which they're really good Kansas, you can't do that. Like it's a really low floor play with Pirine, so you kind of have to be careful if you want to play him.
Yeah, and on the other end, I'm not playing him, but I'm stashing Justice Hill everywhere just in case he gets more work than we expect.
I feel like I seen some clown on TikTok talking about that in a video. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah. It could have been me. It was me. 10% owned. Go get Justice Hill. Why not? Stash him if you got the room.
It absolutely was you.
Yeah.
I think I have this one. I think I took both of those.
I've done it
already.
Smash
double
that,
it up, baby. Yeah. Hit both of them. Get the money, baby.
Next up, we've got the receivers, which is two groups here of largely confusing guys. Nobody really knew what to make of any of them in the drafts. They have huge variance. So the Ravens, it's really Zay Flowers, Bateman, Nelson Aguilar, Tez Walker, Deontay Hardy, Tylan Wallace. I don't really have any interest there until proven otherwise. The Chiefs, Rashee Rice, I think, is the one to own here. Then we've got Xavier Worthy, Justin Watson, Sky Moore, Mecole Hardman with Hollywood Brown out. Who do you have ranked highest? I guess this has got to be what? Rice, Flowers, Worthy? What do you guys have it at?
I have Flowers and Worthy really close in my rankings. I have Rice, our wide receiver 20. We go down a little bit. I get to Flowers at 25, and then Worthy's at 29. So I like all three of those options. You can play all of them, I think. If you want to go dart throw, you can go one of the other guys. But we know how this works out, man. Those guys are such low floor plays. I don't want to trust I know Bateman's got a ton of hype, but I need to see it with Bateman before I project him into that role. That's my whole issue with Bateman. So he'd be the other guy you can make a case for. But outside of that, it's just the main three for me.
Yeah. In the interest of time, I will say I have Zay Flowers at 18, above Debo Samuel. Let's go Zay Flowers this week. All the other KC guys I think are down in the mid 30s. So yeah, I want Zay and maybe a Worthy shot.
That's a spicy one with your. I'll put that back up in a sec. With your Zay take there over Debo, I could see maybe making the argument for Rice, but I don't. Yeah, I've got Rice over Flowers.
They need him.
Ravens only stack that's decent as Lamar Edwards. Lamar is fine unstacked due to rushing yards. Put Rice in top 15. I don't know. I think I have to update my rankings because I have everyone wait. I'm not settled right now. I think I have Rice at between 15 and 20, so I don't think it's crazy high. I don't know if he's going to get into the top 15 for me, though.
Yeah, I think.
Wow, me neither.
That's bold. But I'd say, yeah, you could make him top 15. You could talk yourself into it based on his role and how he was used last year. If he keeps that role that he had at the end of the season, he's going to be a PPR magnet. That's just is what it is. He gets all the easy check down looks. So, yeah, he's the highest floor of the Chiefs guys and possibly the highest ceiling of those wide receivers, too.
All right, we'll close out this game with some tight ends. I think there's a couple of guys you may have heard of here. Mark Andrews. Then he's got Isaiah Likely, Charlie Kohler, and then there's Taylor Swift's boyfriend is on the Chiefs with Noah Gray and Peyton Hendershot, new out of Dallas there. So what do you have? Do you have Andrews or Mrs. Swift? Mr. Swift, I guess.
Mr. Swift.
Yeah, I like Mark Andrews over Kelsey this week. Again, they're going to need him. I just think Mahomes is going to show everybody again who he is and just spread it around a ton. That could be 3 TDs to Kelsey, but I have Andrews ranked as my tight end 3. Kelsey is my tight end 5. Just hedging a little. We'll see how well he does in week 1. But they're both monsters. Yeah. You're going to start them.
100%. Yeah, I have 2 tight ends above these guys. It's Kincaid and it is McBride this week. Then these are my top 2 bets outside of that. So they're back to back 3 and 4. I'm starting them everywhere. This matchup is this is what you want.
I have it as Andrews, Laporta, Kelsey. So if you have a tight end in this matchup, you're going to get off to a good start. So.
Oh yeah.
All right. I guess we can move on to the next one if I can find. First week here, we got to get the kinks worked out of it. Friday night game. I think it's Friday night. Anyways, it's in Brazil, Green Bay at Philly, if you can call it at Philly, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. So I guess that is a night game. Start with the quarterbacks here. We have Jalen Hurts, who Jesse said he had at 1B. Jordan Love, who seems to be riding high. You're going to hate this this comparison. I know. I get it's a completely different player. This reminds me a lot of Daniel Jones. He didn't do, I get it. He didn't play for a while. Love. No, but so he has one great season. Everyone's super high on him. And then all of a sudden he just falls right off the face of the earth. I don't think it's the same. I get it. Daniel Jones sucked, but 2 years ago, everyone, he was this guy who came out of nowhere to be a top 12 and we overdrafted him and then he fell. I don't think Love is this good. I don't think he's Daniel Jones, but what do you think of the two quarterbacks here? Since
whoa. Do not put that evil on my boy Jordan Love. He's a stud. Jordan Love is going to go off. The thing that Jordan Love has that Daniel Jones did not have is every possible weapon imaginable, a great offensive mind at head coach, who's also happy to run the ball and balance the offense, even with all the weapons at their disposal. The Green Bay Packers, I think for a stretch of a couple of years, were like winning just 13 games, for the last couple of years. Jordan Love is fine. He's going to be great. I have no issues here, although in week 1, I'm not super high on him.
Didn't we say that though about Dable? Came over from Buffalo as this offensive genius. He fixed everything. He's got Daniel Jones playing. And I'm not at all disagreeing with you. I'm just saying. There's a case to be made.
There's no way it's the same.
I don't
the
think
way Jordan Love wins is dramatically different than the way Daniel Jones was winning.
With talent?
There was a lot more. Yeah, like he's got a fucking cannon. Jordan Love has the arm talent to actually be a truly elite quarterback in this league. And the second half of the season, he was top 3. Like he's that dude, and I think in the offense with LaFleur, like it's all set up for him. Like he's similar to Burrow, where it's gonna be like a lot higher floor than like QB1 overall, because I don't think that's likely for him. But I'm at 10 this week. Like I'm all above the Love train. I think it's gonna be fun to watch him and those players cook.
I have Hurts at 4, Love at 10, so I'm on board too. I'm just talking shit. Where do you have them, Jeremy?
I have Hurts at 4 and Jordan Love at 14. I got a couple guys who I normally wouldn't put above him. I got a couple guys. Look, I think Geno is absolutely going to smash this week. I think Tua is in a shootout this week. I think Tua is playing Trevor Lawrence, who's in a shootout this week. So I have those 3 guys above him. Normally, I wouldn't.
Spends 5 minutes arguing with me and then drops him lower than anyone in rankings.
Where is my Daniel Jones ranking for week 1? He is, let's see.
I got him at 21.
23.
Oh, I'm the lowest.
They are not the same.
We've spent far too much time talking about Daniel Jones in a game he's not playing in. That's far too much time to talk about him in a game he would be playing in. So let's move on to something more interesting. We've got the running back rooms here that are fairly new. On the Packers, we have Josh Jacobs, Emmanuel Wilson, Marshawn Lloyd, who looks like he's going to play. It's been conflicting all week. At one point, we thought he was on the PUP list, or the NFI, I guess it would be. Philly's got Saquon Barkley, Kenneth Gainwell, Will Shipley. I know, obviously, this one's about the top 2 here. I have them at, Barkley at 4, Jacobs all the way down at 14. So I think I'm going to end up, like I said, my rankings aren't finalized. I've got to go over them tonight or even tomorrow morning. I think Jacobs finds his way into the top 12 for me. Where do you guys have these 2?
I do too. I've been trying to knock him out of the top 12 when I can't do it. Jacobs. I have Barkley at 7. I really like Barkley in this matchup. I've just been lower on him all year, so that's kind of just how I'm going to view him until I see differently. But yeah, they're both top 12 options for me. And it's real close with Jacobs. He's 12-13. It's like him and HN. I go back to back each week.
Yeah, I have Jacobs at 15. I have to move him up, especially because of the injuries behind him. It's just, like you said, it's going to be hard to keep him out of. I'll probably have him at 13, right behind Pacheco for me at 12. Barkley is 6.
I assume nobody's flexing or starting any of the others. Are we interested? I think everyone's handcuffing and stashing Lloyd. Any interest in doing the same for Will Shipley, or is it just Lloyd's the only handcuff worth owning here? Wait and see on Shipley.
I've been stashing Emmanuel Wilson on a bunch of dynasty rosters because Lloyd might not be good to go, and he's the guy that will play alongside with Josh Jacobs. But you're not playing anybody. Shipley's a premium handcuff though. If Saquon goes down for long, Shipley will be a valuable player. It's just he's gonna be nothing until he gets injured.
Receivers. Boy, are there receivers in this game. So, Green Bay, we've got Jaden Reed, Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, Dontavian Wicks, Bo Melton, and what is it, Malik Heath? I forget. I think it's Malik Heath. It is
Yep.
Malik Heath. Thank you. Philly, we've got A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Jahan Dotson, Wilson, and Covey at the bottom here. What's he? I forget. Johnny Wilson. I thought it was Jeremy Wilson, but maybe that's because of the clown on the screen in front of me.
The albatross, Johnny Wilson.
So my highest ranked in this is A.J. Brown at 6.
Yeah.
And then I go a ways down to 24 for Devonta Smith. And then all the Packers are like grouped together in the 28 to 36 range. So I've got basically a ton of wide receiver 2s on Green Bay and then the high-end talent on Philly. What do you guys got?
Yeah, I'm with you. I have AJ Brown above CeeDee Lamb this week. He's my wide receiver 5. Like, I'm all above the AJ board. Like, we're gonna roll with that. Smitty's down in like the low 20s. I have Watson since he's healthy and has not dealt with a hamstring injury. He's by far my highest ranked Packers wide receiver. It could change with injury. And then it's Jaden Reed at like 40. And then it's like, if Wicks ever gets some fucking playing time or Romeo Doubs and all that fun stuff. But yeah, it's Christian Watson's by far my highest Packer wide receiver.
There's still like 36 hours. No, it's more like 48 hours before that game plays. That's taking a big leap of faith, assuming that Watson can't get hurt in the next 48 hours.
Hey, if the rankings are due to change, let me tell you what.
That's going to age poorly when you said Watson's finally healthy for this.
I know. He's going to get hurt the first 5 snaps. It'll be great.
No, we'll be done this show in 20 minutes after he'll be announced to be nursing a hamstring injury.
Pre-game warm-ups, Christian Watson out for the season. Tale as old as time.
Clip it, baby.
AJ Brown at 6, and then I go all the way down to 33 for Devonta Smith. I'm just not a big believer in Smith this year. Plus, look, we always get these crazy situations when teams travel a long way, especially a place where they've never been before, and we just don't know how certain players are going to react to the travel, to the situation, to the environment. This is new for everybody, but I'm not a big believer in Devonta Smith this year anyway, only because I don't think they need him. The defense is better. They have the running game. He's still a great player, but it's a situation for me. And then Reed is 3rd for me in the low 40s.
Before we get to this question, if Smith moves into the slot, he's going to be a monster this year. And that's with the Jahan Dotson signing, that's what they're kind of pushing him to do. I just want to see it because if Smith isn't going to play the slot, I'm going to be dramatically higher on my rankings, but I just need to see it before. But that's what I'm waiting on with Devonta Smith. I think he could be a friggin' another top 12-ish wide receiver this year for them.
They should make him that.
McLaurin in a 2nd or Metcalf in a 4th. I think I'm going McLaurin here. No, I go McLaurin because I don't think the difference is big enough to go from a 4th to a 2nd. But I like DK, but not by much.
Agree, but I think DK is the better play.
You need to be 100% sure that's an early 2nd. Like, that's what you need to be sure. If there's a chance it slides to the middle or the back, I'll just take DK. So, obviously, you're going to have to use your discretion on it for me. But if it's truly an early 2nd, I'm fine with the McLaurin in the 25 second.
I want DK in my lineup. I don't want McLaurin in my lineup. That's really what it boils down to.
I want McLaurin in my lineup. I like me some McLaurin this year. There's nobody else there. All right, moving on to the tight ends in this game. Packers have Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft, and the Eagles don't have anyone. I'm not saying that name. You can say it. I'm not saying it. I have the highest ranked is that player at tight end 12, and then I have Musgrave and Kraft back to back at 20 and 21. But I'm not acknowledging the tight end that plays on the Eagles.
Dallas Goedert is that no man's land tight end guy, right? Like, you don't really want to draft him. You don't really want to play him. He can be fine. He can go off, but you just
no. Don't say but. Him. End it at but. You've said everything.
It's fine. You should not draft. You should not have drafted him. If you drafted him, you have to play him. A hope for a touchdown.
Yeah, he's my tight end 12. Like, he's talented. His situation sucks. Like, he's never hit his ceiling. The interesting thing is I have Musgrave higher because Kraft's still dealing with that injury. So, like, I just trust Kraft's going to run all the routes. And if that's the case, he's a top 16 tight end for me for this week. So that's where I'm going with Musgrave. Let's go. Big, sexy, freaky tight ends. I like him. I'm rolling with Musgrave.
The worst part is I looked at my rankings and I'm like, oh, I have Goddard at 12. I have to lower him to like 16. And I'm looking, I'm going, oh my God, I can't move him lower than 15.
You can't.
Nobody.
Not enough
like,
Goddard is my 16th ranked tight end.
There's
who do you have? 13
tight ends?
I don't want to know.
Bowers, Hunter Henry, and Dalton Schultz.
You think Goddard's gross? Just Just wait till you
Week
get the Hunter
1,
Henry
baby.
experience.
Yeah,
3
don't
catches,
also
20 yards, and a touchdown. That's the
also
Hunter
hope
Henry.
you didn't draft Hunter Henry, by the way. We've been preaching all along. You got to get one of those top 8 guys. So
Yeah, I'm fine with Henry and Conklin. Just know it's ugly touchdown dependent volume. That's what you're living with.
100%.
And on a brighter note, we'll switch to Arizona at Buffalo on Sunday at 1 o'clock. The quarterbacks are Josh Allen, who is my QB1 this week, and Kyler Murray, who somehow became my quarterback, my guy of the offseason, just because he was so undervalued. I have him freaking everywhere. I have him as my QB2 in a lot of leagues, and I don't know how that's possible. His price tag went up a little bit in the offseason, but he's my QB2 in Scott Fishbowl.
Yeah, I thought you meant this week's rankings. I was like, holy.
Oh, no. Yeah, no.
I was like, God damn,
Christ.
dude.
No.
We are rolling. I love it. He's my QB6 this week, though.
He's my QB7, so.
I got him at 8.
Oh, you're so low. You're fired. Just, that's terrible. Your rankings are so low. That's egregious. So Josh Allen, I have him at 1. I think we all have him at 1.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. He's my I go back and forth with him. It hurts, but yeah, like you're starting both together.
Yeah. This one's easy. You're starting them both. More running backs, a lot of players that I have a lot of shares of here. So the Cardinals, we've got James Conner, whose value or price tag seemed to go up a bit. Benson, who is basically the handcuff, Amari Demarcado, DJ Dallas, and on Buffalo, we've got James Cook, who I have everywhere. Ray Davis, who I'm not sure if he matters, and which Johnson is this? Ty Johnson? It is Ty Johnson. Some of these players bounce around. So I have Cook ranked the highest here. I'm not sure where, but I'll double check. But I'm sure it's going to be Cook at 12, Cook at 13, Connor at 18, and nobody else anywhere relevant. Thoughts, guys?
Yeah, I keep moving Connor up. Like we've talked about it with Benson. Like I'm just not in on Benson, so I trust the volume Connor's going to get. This he's the bell cow. Like he's my RB15, James Cook's my RB12. I'm confidently starting both of these guys everywhere.
Yeah, I got Cook at 13, Connor down at 22. I have to look at it, but I just like a few other guys ahead of him. I have Aaron Jones ahead of him this week, ahead of James Conner. Look, there's a lot of variables week 1. There's a lot of variables week 1, and the biggest one is Connor is what? Is Connor like 65 years old at this point? Come on,
hey, man, that old man is strong. He's got grandpa.
I don't believe in Trey Benson, but I'm not sure I believe in Arizona either. So Marvin
this
Harrison, Trey McBride, and Kyler, and that's it.
This question terrifies me because I've heard this, and if this happens, I'm dead because I drafted James Cook everywhere just because I don't believe this is going to happen at all. If this does, I quit.
Cook only scored 6 touchdowns last year, right? So, and I think he only had 4 on the ground, right? So I'm not worried about this at all. I think it probably should happen. It's probably true. And if anything, it takes away from Josh Allen's bottom line, which is why it's my QB2 on the season, not QB1. But no, Ray Davis, I'm fine with it. But yeah, Cook should still be a middling RB2 at worst this season.
I think the most
fly in the ointment for his ceiling. Like how James Cook gets that ceiling is he gets the short yardage and gets the goal line work along with the passing down work. Like he needs a little bit of boost of all of those, and I'm projecting it. Obviously, it's risky, but yeah, we could be looking like by week 6 and we're like, oh, Ray Davis is valuable and has a role in fantasy. I don't think it's going to happen, but it entirely is possible. It could happen.
The most important question of this game is, Jeremy, are you recording in your attic?
Pretty much, yeah. This is my bedroom, which is a converted attic. I've been locked in here by my family. Someone please send help.
I was going to say, blink if you need us to send help. Are you being held against your will up there? Okay.
No, I'm not.
Help me. All
right, well,
but yeah, Jerry's right. Like they've been trying.
We'll send help when you admit how bad Calvin Ridley is. Sorry, Go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted. Go ahead.
I was just saying, look at Jerry's comment. I was just saying, like, he's right. They've been trying to find that goal line, like, pass catching back for a long time in Buffalo.
All right, the receivers here. We have Marvin Harrison Jr. making his first NFL start. Greg Dortch, Michael Wilson, Chris Moore, Zach Pascal, who I didn't know still played in the NFL. Buffalo, their depth chart has Curtis Samuel listed as the wide receiver 1. Yes. Currently looking and expected to play. Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, MVS, Mac Hollins. Excuse me. Outside of Marvin Harrison, who is probably my wide receiver 13, 14 for me. I don't think I have anyone here ranked inside the top 40. Thoughts?
Who's your guys' next highest ranked wide receiver out of this game?
For
me, it's Khalil Shakir.
For me, it's going to be Keon Coleman, I'm sure.
Yeah, like I once they see Coleman run all the routes in like the regular season, I'll have him there. But
it's Coleman at 42.
Yeah,
Samuel at 51.
Yeah,
I'm real high on Samuel.
That's where I have Shakir in the same route. You have Coleman, and then it's just. I mean, really, if you're starting a Buffalo wide receiver, pick the one you have confidence in. But yeah, Jerry nailed it. It's Dalton Kincaid. Like and Trey McBride. Those are the guys we want outside.
We'll get there. Let's just go there.
Moral of the story is if you drafted a wide receiver in this game, hope his name is Marvin Harrison Jr. Otherwise,
the Dorchland, baby. We're there. He's chilling at my wide receiver 58. Dorchland is there. Let's go.
58. We have some good tight ends here to talk about. Trey McBride, Elijah Higgins, Tip Ryman. And then on Buffalo, we've got Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, Quentin Morris. I think I have McBride higher than Kincaid, but it's not going to be a lot. I stand corrected. I have Kincaid as my 4, McBride as my 5.
Yeah, I have them 1 and 2. So that tells you where I'm at with these tight ends. I love this matchup for both of these tight ends in this game. And yeah, I'm not starting any other tight ends over these two.
That's bold.
I expect them both to absolutely feast.
I don't hate it, but it's bold.
I have Kincaid at 1 and McBride at 7. And McBride at 7 this week.
Oh my goodness.
Listen, brother.
The shade.
The guy I put, obviously I have the top 6. McBride is one of them. And then the guy I've put above him at 4 is Evan Ingram. I just think that game is going to go absolutely bonkers this week.
I think Ingram's my
old man.
Ingram might be my 3. He's either my 3 or my 5 Ingram. So
yeah.
I mean, I have him at 6. I can't really complain. He's fine right there.
Fire both these guys up. They have the potential to be the number 1 tight end this week.
Yes,
all right. Next up, we will get to not a very exciting game. New England at Cincinnati here. If I can just bring it up on my damn screen here. Jacoby Brissett is the starting quarterback for the Patriots versus Joe Burrow. I am sure Joe Burrow is higher ranked. He is my 7. Jacoby Brissett is my QB 29.
It's high.
Yeah.
It's high. He's my QB 31. It's my QB 31 out of 32. I couldn't put Gardner Minshew above him. I won't do it.
I got Gardner above, baby. I'm not doing Jacoby. Fuck that.
This is an interesting one. I think I take this. Puka, Walker, and Pickens for Jamar. I think I take that side.
Well, yeah, like that's really
it's a lot for Jamar.
Is this redraft or dynasty? Because I have
he just said PPR is all he said.
Yeah.
And Chase is going to play. I've been saying this all along. I heard 100%. An analyst that I'm friends with on a show I very much respect last night say that he thought Jamar Chase was very unlikely to play and was going to hold out. And I almost lost my shit because that's ridiculous. There's no chance he's holding out.
Well, they need to have him listed on the roster soon. We'll find out one way.
He's practicing today.
Yeah, we'll know going into the game.
Yeah.
Like
take the package.
That's what she's
really good. The thing is, like, you could get burned because if Chase does what like people think he could be the wide receiver 1, but it's the problem. So you just have to be careful if you're like this.
Agree.
I could see Taysom Hill outscoring Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah,
anyways, what were we talking about? Brissett and Burrow.
Why would you even consider starting? Like, even in super flex leagues, I'm not starting Jacoby Brissett. Like, it's not even him entering my discussion. Like, these are the worst.
I'm hoping he has a good game. I have him stashed, and then I'm hoping someone becomes desperate, and I can sell him in the first couple of weeks of the season. That's the only thing I'm looking for.
Yeah,
Jacoby Brissett against the Bengals this week, or Sam Darnold against the Giants.
Darnold.
Throwing up's not an option.
Darnold, baby.
Darnold.
Like, you throw up when you said Darnold? You sound like you threw up when you said Darnold.
Yeah, I did. I had that, I was like, Darnold. It's just not good. But I'm starting Darnold. He's got Justin Jefferson. That's all I need to say. He's got viable pieces. They have offense. Like, I know Jordan Addison's dealing with bullshit, but yeah, like I'm in the offense. Yeah, Darnold for sure.
All right.
And I don't even like Darnold. I think he's awful.
Let's move on to positions we hope suck less. Running back, where it's the Patriots are Ramondre Stevenson, Antonio Gibson, Jermichael Hasty. There's a name I haven't said in a while. Bengals have Zach Moss, who looks to be the starter. Next is Chase Brown and what's that? Travion Williams? I forget. It is Travion Williams. I don't know who my highest ranked running back is here. I think it's going to be Moss. It's not.
Mhm.
It's Stevenson by 2 spots, and I hate that, and I will be
Oh.
moving that down. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, but what are the spots?
20. It doesn't feel great, but I might.
That's
Late-
high. That's high.
Late 20s.
Yeah.
He's gonna get a lot of work. Is the thing. Like
Mhm.
I don't trust like anybody else really on that offense, and like there's so many pieces that are like moving. We know Ramondre, like unless you don't expect him to get volume, he's the one guy in this game that I'm counting to get volume for the running back position. So that's why he's higher. But yeah,
Sure.
it's ugly. It's ugly.
Yeah. The volume will be there, but it won't matter because they're not going to do anything moving that football. I got Moss at 24, Ramondre at 25, and Chase Brown at 28. I don't really want to have to flex any of these guys, but all of these guys are flex worthy. If I have.
Yes, agree.
I'm out on Stevenson. Prostitutes get a lot of work too. It doesn't mean it's work you want.
Hey,
I'm just out. Nope.
Yeah, but
you say
but
that.
here's the what.
Wait till you're starting Alvin Kamara with that ugly volume.
Hey, I'll take Kamara hands down over Stevenson.
It'll get the volume. They're back to back in my rankings. I don't like either guy this week. That's why.
They're back to back in mine too.
Antonio Gibson, to put a bow on this, like just don't. You never should have. You shouldn't now. Just don't do it.
Don't put a bow around it. Put a noose around it, not a bow.
Jeremy.
Yes, sir.
MVP, baby.
Jesus Christ, what are we doing?
And I want Brissett to start over May. So
I don't fucking start May. It'll be better.
Let's lose the whole season. And then bring it back with a top 5 pick next year. Come on.
They start him this early. He's going to be shell shocked like Zach Wilson. All right.
So much.
Wide receivers on the Patriots. We start with Demario Douglas. They have KJ Osborne listed next. I didn't even know he was on the roster. Jalen Polk, Javon Baker, Keyshawn Butte, Tyquan Thornton. Then the Bengals have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Andre Yoshivas, Trenton Irwin, Jermaine Burton, and Charlie Jones. I am damn sure Chase is my highest ranked. I think I have Chase at 3. I do. Chase is at 3. Where do you guys have 2 receivers here? I don't even know. Higgins at this point might even be more of a flex play. I don't even know how high he is in my rankings.
Where I have him.
I
have Jamar at 5. I have T. Higgins at 28.
I have him at 32.
He's a low flex. I just think New England is not a great defense, but they're good enough to limit the offense, not necessarily good enough to crush them. And Cincinnati should be up pretty early anyway, so they can lean on the running game, try some things less risky downfield than throwing up YOLO balls to T. Higgins. So,
okay, if you take out Chase and take out Higgins, who's your next highest ranked receiver in this game, and where are they? Because I'm still scrolling.
It's a discussion between Polk and Yosevich for me. Like Yosevich is going to be the slot guy for the Bengals.
Yep.
He can see work. I'm not doing Baker. He's not seeing enough work. I'm not doing Douglas because he's only playing slot snaps. Like
it's Douglas for me at 64. That's
my
next.
I'm terrified of Douglas this year because if he's only playing slot snaps in that offense, like it's going to be ugly. So yeah, you can make the case for Yosevich if you really want to do it, but like those two guys are really close. They're like both in the 50s, so I'm fine with it.
Polk at 53. Yep.
Gross. All right, let's move on here to. Oh my God, it gets worse. Tight ends: Hunter Henry, Jaheim Bell, Austin Hooper for the Patriots. Bengals have Tanner Hudson as listed as the starter. Mike Gesicki, Drew Sample. What's your highest ranked tight end in this? It's got to be Hunter Henry at what? 25. Oh, I have Hunter Henry at 18 for me. That's how ugly
17.
tight end gets.
14, baby.
Ooh. Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Help. Yeah, like with the other team, aka the Bengals, who have a good offense, we don't know how the snaps are going to play out, so it's going to be very difficult picking a tight end in that offense. You're just counting on touchdown volume. So like I want to see the Gritty King do his thing. So let's go, Mike G. Go get in the end zone, do the gritty dance, and have fun with it. But yeah, no thanks. I'm not starting these guys.
No, same.
All right, let's get to the next game. It's kind of exciting. Houston at Indy. Did these two get to meet up last year, or was Richardson hurt? Stroud versus Richardson. Did they get to play?
If he played, it was real.
I'll look it up.
I don't remember, but that's got to be the sexiest QB matchup of the weekend. So it's Stroud versus Richardson in the Houston Indy game. I have Stroud at 7, Richardson. Oh, sorry, Richardson at 5, Stroud at 7. I couldn't find Richardson. I had him that high. Where do you guys got Richardson and Stroud?
My second favorite QB matchup besides Murray and Allen, but
that's
like Stroud is 7. I put AR at 5. Like I trust the rushing upside. Like the floor is just higher, so I'll take Richardson.
You have
Even though
the same
Stroud
as
could go
me, 5 and 7.
Stroud could go fucking nuclear in this game. So like I want to see it. Just crank up the pass volume. That's all I'm asking, freaking man. Do it slow. Crank up the pass volume. We want it.
Yep, 100%. Stroud at 4, A-Rich at 7. These guys played in week 2 last year. Stroud went off 384 yards and 2 touchdowns. A-Rich only played 30% of the snaps the first time he got injured.
Was it still Minshew at that point?
No, A-Rich played, but only played 30%, then got injured, then left.
Oh, he got hurt in that one. Okay, all right. I misunderstood you. I thought you said he only came in for 30%. Would you mind rating this squad? Sure, let's take a look. 12-team full PPR, 9th pick went Chase, Gibbs, Jacobs, Mahomes, Kincaid, Deontay, Odunze, Worthy, Pollard, Hopkins. I like the squad. I don't see a player on here I don't want, so A-.
Yeah, that's really good. I don't really have much complaints with this roster. Like
I'll complain.
There's a lot of projection. Yeah, there's a lot of projection built in with like the Deontays, the Odunzes, the Worthies, and all those guys. But it is what it is. It should be a fun ride. Like you got Mahomes, you got Gibbs, Chase, and Jacobs. You know what you're getting, and then Kincaid could be tied at 1. Like
your back end's going to be a little boom or bust here with the rookies, but
just cycle through. If those guys suck, just cycle through.
I'm good on A- for the grade. There's too many Titans on this roster. That's my one complaint.
Hey, they could be the surprise offense of the year. Will it happen? I doubt it, but it's a good question. And you got Chuba you can play, and like if Chase goes out, you can just put Chuba in your lineup. He's gonna play, so
all right. The running backs in this one, we've got the Texans with Mixon, Damian Pierce, Dara Gumbawale, and Cam Akers, who somehow landed on this roster. The Colts have JT, Trey Sermon, Tyler Goodson. JT is going to be my highest ranked in this backfield. JT at 5, Joe Mixon at 9, and I don't believe I have anyone ranked out or inside the top like 90 here. So what are your thoughts, guys?
Well, the thing is Cam Akers is the RB4 on the depth chart right now, so it's like, yeah, not fun. I have JT at 6 and I have Mixon at 8. Like we've talked about all years, like I'm higher on Mixon consensus and lower than
what could you JT. Sorry to interrupt, what could you package here to get Tank Dell? Someone's looking to tank Dell or get rid of Dell. I'd be willing to combine any 2 of the guys from Deontay all the way to Jameson. Any 2. Like if I have to give Deontay and Odunze, I'm giving that.
I would not do that.
For who? For Dell. Not Deontay and Odunze for Dell. I would do
both
like
those guys could outscore Tank Dells here. Like I
don't have much faith in Odunze this year.
I love Odunze, so you're talking to the wrong guy. If you want to, you could package one of those guys with one of your lower end, like a Jameson Williams or something. That's fine. But like
that's what I would do.
Worthy could outscore all of those guys, and Odunze could too. So I just think
package the Titans.
Yeah, can you do Hopkins and like JMO for Tank Dell? I would give that a shot.
Gross.
I love Jameson Williams. I have loved Jameson Williams. It's just not there for him in the situation. He's going to be too boom or bust. He could give you 30 points 4-5 times this year. You just don't know when that's going to come. So
you also have a stack with Mahomes too. Like I don't know why they would be trading for Dell in the situation personally.
In order to remember the Titans, you first have to trade them off your fucking roster. And
then forget them completely.
then forget you ever had them. Where were we? All right, let's move on here to the wide receiving cores that are stacked on one side here. The Texans have Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, the aforementioned Tank Dell, Robert Woods, who was not in a nursing home. Did not know that. John Mechie, Xavier Hutchinson. Then on the Colts, we've got Pittman, A.D. Mitchell, Josh Downs, who's been hurt. Didn't sound like he was going to play. Ankle, still sidelined, not practicing. That's not good news. Alec Pierce, Ashton Doolin, and what's Gould? Anthony Gould. I couldn't remember. My highest in this is almost guaranteed to be Pittman because I am the Pittman guy. I have Pittman at 13. And
you're not high enough.
Nico at 20.
Yeah, Pittman is my 12 this year or this week. I have him over Malik Neighbors. Let's go, Michael Pittman. I'm just stupid high on Michael Pittman this year.
Did I say 13? I meant Pittman is my 11. I raised you 13 and
wide receiver 1.
Yeah,
and Nico at 22 and the rest somewhere else.
So I have Nico's the highest guy of anybody I have. He's my wide receiver 14. I got Pittman at 17. I have Steph Diggs at 25. And then a little way, I've Tank Dell at 35. Then AD Mitchell at 41. Like, if he's playing slot snaps, I fucking want some AD Mitchell on my roster. That's going to be a lot of
38.
fun. So,
AD.
yeah, we're doing that. Ooh, 38. I like that. And
Diggs
then Josh Downs, if he plays, I don't think he's going to play. So he's like 61. So I'm just kind of counting him out. And then it's like nobody else. I'm not
I've got Diggs at 25, Dell at 30, and then I don't have anyone inside 50 after that. Downs, and I think he's going to be subbed out for AD Mitchell because Downs isn't going to play. So I'm only interested in basically starting Pittman, Nico, and then I guess I'll flex Diggs or Tank Dell. Thoughts?
Okay.
Yeah, I would start Diggs for sure over Dell personally. Just got to know his run routes.
All right, let's move on to the tight ends. Dalton Schultz for the Texans, followed by Cade Stover and Brevin Jordan, Kylan Granson, Will Mallory, and Mo Alley Cox for the Colts. It feels like every single tight end on the Colts is just the same 6'8", 300-pound WWE wrestler here. I'm sure Schultz is going to be the highest ranked out of these guys. Yep. He is at 17, and that's not saying much because I think the next highest tight end I have in this game is... So far, it's Cade Stover at 49. So, yeah.
I don't. Even Schultz is a touchdown dependent tight end. Like he's my tight end 16 or 17. I'm not sure he's one of those.
He's a volume dependent tight end, and he's not going to get volume. So
yeah,
that's be a problem.
Touchdowns, baby. We need the tutties. If you have him on your roster, that's what you're hoping for. Touchdowns. That's what you need with all these tight ends.
It seems like Hunter Henry in a better offense for Dalton Schultz.
Just a lot more competition.
Yeah. Any other thoughts here on that lovely tight end room before we move on to the next game?
No.
Please don't just try to hide your excitement for the tight ends in this game. Please. All right, we'll move on. It is Jacksonville at Miami. This could be the highest scoring game of the week, I think. What else is higher? I think Lions Rams is going to be the highest scoring, but Jags and Dolphins don't play a whole lot of this thing called defense, so could be interesting. That's why I'm higher on Lawrence and Tua. I have them as 13 and 14 respectively. I have Tua the highest. What do you guys have?
I have T-Law at 12, Tua at 13. I'm with you. Like this game's fireworks. We want it, baby. Let's roll. I think this is the year it all comes together for Trevor Lawrence. So I'm gonna ride with Trevor Lawrence. See how it goes.
Jordan Addison will play.
Good.
Jordan Addison will play.
We are for sure starting Darnold.
We always were, baby. And we were sitting both of them on the bench, regardless.
We have some of the more polarizing running backs in fantasy in this game. Jags have ETN, followed by Bigsby, and is that Dearness Johnson? It is. Wow.
It is.
There's a name I never thought I'd see again. Dearness Johnson, followed by the Dolphins, who have Achane, Mostert, Wright, Jeff Wilson, who's still in this league. There's some fun names when you scroll through and you're like, that guy's still in the NFL? Yeah. I would say ETN's my highest ranked here because I don't want to deal with the Dolphins issue. ETN I have at 8. Achane I have at 15. Mostert at 24. I think that's the only one. I don't have Bigsby, or it's probably Wright next, and that's Wright and Bigsby are probably somewhere in the 50s for me. Yeah, 52 and 56.
I'm going to jump in here because you don't have to deal with the Dolphins issue because I have ETN ranked 7th, Achane 8th, Mostert 10th. The Miami Dolphins running backs are going wild like usual. Highest scoring game of the week. And I really think both of these guys get in the end zone at least once.
Yeah. That is some spicy. Like, we got some fireworks. This game better put up 60 points.
Okay. Over under combined rushing touchdowns by the three of these guys, over under 9.5. Hey, it's not completely unreasonable.
It's fair. It's fair.
That's only 4 apiece.
Well, over under 4 is the real question, and I think that's a question. But obviously, you can't do that. You have to go 4.5. Probably go under. Over under 3.5. I'd go over.
Taking the over. I was going over 4.5. That's only 2 touchdowns apiece.
Could be.
Listen, if we're giving them 4 touchdowns, the quarterbacks are going to suffer one way or the other. Like, I don't think everybody's going to live up.
But Jesse, these quarterbacks we ranked them 12th and 13th anyway, right? So like
I
we
know.
expect this to be high scoring, but we don't expect these guys to necessarily
Yeah.
go off. The running backs are going to be involved.
What you're not
Yes. Oh, for sure.
factoring in is a final score of 50-49, Jesse. That's
There
what
you
you
go.
want to
That's-
factor in.
Yeah,
We're not
if we're
factoring
talking that, okay, I'm on board.
At some point, will they just not play defenses and will they just put the ball in the middle and go XFL and say
7
offense
on
versus
7.
offense? Like, fuck
Yeah.
defense here.
Yeah,
Oh goodness,
100%.
yeah. I have HN the highest. He's a 9. ETN's 13. I have Mostert at like 25. Yeah, that's right. And then
Yes,
I
no.
would, if you need a like that, Bigsby's a better insurance option just because it's a much easier path to playing time for him than it is for Wright.
Yeah.
All right, let's transition to the wide receivers who are each going to score 4 more touchdowns themselves. Jags have Christian Kirk, Brian Thomas Jr., Gabe Davis, Parker Washington, Tony Jones, Devin Duvernay. The Dolphins have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Braxton Berrios, and Malik Washington. I'm sure Hill is my highest here. I would say it's probably Hill, Waddle, BTJ, Kirk, Davis for me. I'm going to look it up, though. What do you guys have? I'm sure you all agree it's Hill at number 1. I have Hill number 1 overall.
Yep.
And then Waddle at 17.
16.
Oh, you're way too high. Kirk at 28. That means BTJ must be next somewhere, but I'm not sure. What do you guys got?
Yeah, I'm with you. This is a sweet matchup for zone beaters, and this is what Christian Kirk does. So I am much higher on BTJ on the long regular season. This week I have Kirk above him for them. He's like my wide receiver 28. I love the matchup for them. I have Waddle like wide receiver 13 pushing in top 12. Tyreek Hill is wide receiver 1. Like I like all of the wide receivers in this game. So yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah. I might need to move Brian Thomas Jr. up. He's my wide receiver 41. I have Kirk at 31. But I'm stupid high on Evan Ingram this week, like I mentioned. But otherwise, yeah, Tyreek 1, Jalen Waddle at 16.
I was thinking the same thing. I might have to move BTJ up here. I haven't fully updated mine, and some of the rookies are too low. I think I will be doing the same. The tight ends, we have Evan Ingram on the Jags with Brenton Strange. Dolphins have Jonnu Smith and Durham Smythe. I have Ingram at 7, and then nobody else even remotely relevant in this game. Jonnu Smith down at 27, which is impressive to be tight end 27. But what do you guys got?
Yeah, I got Johnny with a sneaky touchdown in this game. He's tight end 23. He's playing that weird like the F tight end role, so he's gonna be like doing the fun routes and catching passes. Like, let's go with it. Shoot the moon, Johnny. And yeah, I'm with you guys. Ingram's my tight end 6, I think.
Yeah, tight end 4, baby, for Evan Ingram. He's going to go off in this game. Miami's just putrid all around, but especially at the linebacker position. And they probably can't rush the passer now since they lost their best, 2 defensive linemen to free agency. So, I'm totally in on Evan Ingram. Jonnu is my tight end 35. I can't do it with a tight end in Miami. Can't do it.
Agree. Next, we have the Las Vegas Raiders at the LA Chargers. The quarterback matchup here. Raiders look to be starting Gardner Minshew. Has that been confirmed?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So it is confirmed against Justin Herbert, who I think is going to bounce back here. I can guarantee you that Herbert is higher ranked for me. Having said that, he's still my QB 16. Minshew, I have at 30, only above Bo Nix and Sam Darnold. Oh, and Jacoby Brissett. Sorry. Thoughts on the quarterbacks?
I have starting Gardner Minshew. I'm not even doing that. I have Herbert at 20. He's my quarterback 20. I'm lower on Herbert this week too. I don't like this game. I don't expect a lot of points to be scored in this game on both offenses, particularly with how these teams play. And the Chargers, like the defense is getting better. The Raiders defense was really good second half of the year. So I expect this to be a slugfest. I really don't want to play a lot of players in this game. So I'm just consistently lower on all the guys.
You meant shit fest, not slugfest.
Yeah.
It'd be ugly.
I'm with you. I mean, that Raiders defensive front is like surprisingly really decent now, like really good. They can rush the passer, they should be able to stop the run. We'll see how it all comes together. Herbert's my QB 21 this week. I have Derek Carr over him. The plantar fascia issue, the new offense. Look, Justin Herbert, I like the talent. I just think it's weird there in LA. It's a weird match pairing there. So I'm hedging right now in week 1. He's my QB 21.
This has got to be an over-under of what, 20 and a half?
This
is like what, a 14-10 game or something?
If it's 28.5, bet the under.
Running backs here, full of questions on both sides. The Raiders have Zamir White, Alexander Madison, Dylan Lobby, Amir Abdullah. Chargers have Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, Kamani Vidal, and Hassan Haskins. I don't think I have any of these guys inside the top 24. Let me double check. I do. I have Zamir White at exactly 24. My next highest is Gus Edwards at 29, and then it's just all over the place. What do you guys have here?
Yeah, the Zamir White's the highest, but I don't want to start him either. He's 23, and that's just like I got to keep pushing him down. Like I hate that regular spot for him. We moved down a little bit farther, and I'm like, I guess it's Gus Edwards, but move. You need a touchdown there. J.K. Dobbins, if you really want to throw in the dart in like the 45s. Yeah, no thanks. I just want to. My goal out of this game is to see the usage Kamani Vidal has, and hopefully that improves because he's my bet long term of all of these running backs that I want.
Yeah, we mentioned the front of the Raiders, so I'm not starting any of the Chargers backs until we see it. That might unfortunately be the situation all season. Zamir White is also my RB23, and I don't have much confidence this week.
Wide receivers, you know how everyone's been pretty much out on Devontae Adams all year long? He might score more points than every receiver other than him combined in this game. That should tell you all you need to know. Raiders have Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, only 3 listed on the depth chart. Chargers have Josh Palmer, Ladd McConkey, DJ Chark, Quentin Johnston, Brendan Rice, Darius Davis. I have Adams at 10. Good God, I don't know how far I'm going to have to scroll to find the next one. It's
Palmer at 42.
I have McConkey at 45, and then Palmer at 53, and yeah, it's not pretty.
Yeah.
Like I know Palmer's a decent NFL wide receiver. I want to like McConkey's not getting all of the usage in preseason, so that needs to change the regular season for me to rank him higher. It will at some point. Like he's good. It's just I need to see it, so I'm gonna trust Palmer first week.
But for me, that's exactly why I have McConkey ranked higher. I've seen it with Palmer. I'm pretty convinced Palmer's just a wide receiver 3 in best case scenario. McConkey could completely suck, or he could turn out to be half decent. So I'd rather just take the mystery box here and play what's in the box.
Like season long rankings. Yeah, I'm just like this.
No, I mean even this week. I know Palmer sucks. I think Palmer sucks.
No, Palmer's solid. Like I think people are underrating how good Palmer is. He'll get paid this offseason like a good amount of money. Like it would not shock me at all. Like he's a solid NFL wide receiver.
And the only issue that I would argue against, even though I have McConkey a couple spots higher, again, they're both in the 40s, McConkey and Palmer. But Herbert hasn't really been practicing. We know he has the rapport from the last couple years with Palmer, and McConkey is himself just a new wide receiver. But the usage will be important, right? How much do they push the ball downfield?
Mm-hmm.
How involved is it DJ Chark over there? Like, is he the guy who's actually going to be lining up on the other side? How involved is he? So it's just a weird sort of situation, and they're set up to run the football. But I don't really want anybody on the Chargers in this matchup. I just kind of want to see how it all shakes out.
How high do you guys have Adams? Because that's the
9,
10.
Yeah, he's still. Yeah, I have him at 10, and it's just like the volume is going to be absurd for him. Will it be efficient? Probably not, but it's going to be fun volume.
The tight ends here on the Raiders, we have Brock Bowers, who looks to be healthy. It appears he's going to play. Michael Mayer, Harrison Bryant. Chargers have Hayden Hurst, Will Dissly, Stone Smart. My highest is Bowers, and I am so low on the tight ends in this and the scenario or the situation in the Raiders that the guy I have ranked directly below Brock Bowers is none other than Dallas Goedert. So that tells you how low I have him. He's like 14 for me. Like the talent, he's injured. This situation sucks. I don't really want to be starting any of these guys. I guess I could be forced into starting Bowers if I had to. What do you guys have?
Yeah, I'm like I've said with Bowers all offseason, like you have to ride the roller coaster. Someone Adams, you just bet on talent. Dissly, I actually like Dissly. Like I think he's going to be the most important tight end they have on the roster. He's in the low 20s. He's like right next to Zach Ertz and Jonnu Smith in the 23 through 25 range. So I don't mind Dissly. It's just another touchdown dependent tight end.
Yeah, 13 for Brock Bowers. Who cares? Everybody else. Bowers should see enough. I heard a hot take, though. I think it was Pat Fitzmaurice Friend of the show, Pat Fitzmaurice, I think he said Brock Bowers. It could have been another guy, Fantasy Pros, but Brock Bowers going for 70 receptions and something like 800 yards this season. I think that's a little spicy, but it makes sense. I mean, we know Minshew can deliver the ball in the short to intermediate area of the field. I'm just not ready to do that with Brock Bowers just yet, because if he does that, he's like tight end 6 on the season.
So he said it at what? He thought he'd have 800 yards?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? That's going to be impressive, because I have the over-under for Minshew passing yards set at 850. So
Devontae Adams the other 50.
Yeah.
I love
So
it.
I don't like the chances of that. All
I
right,
love
we can close it out here with a, I guess, kind of a more exciting game. Two good teams, might be the most defensive game of the season or the week, because both are talented defenses. That is Dallas at Cleveland. Start with the quarterbacks. Dak Prescott versus Deshaun Watson. I have Prescott the highest at 12. Watson down at 20. I'm fine starting both, I think. Although I would temper expectations. I think that's why I have them both as, well, Watson as a low-end QB2, Dak on the borderline of 1-2. I think the defenses both are really, really good. And this may be a low-scoring game, but what do you guys have here for the quarterbacks?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I have Dak at like QB 13. I have actually Caleb Williams one spot ahead of him this week. I'm very worried about the matchup for Dak. And on the flip side with Watson, like, he's been just terrible. And the Dallas defense is very opportunistic with how they play. So yeah, he's my QB 22. One spot above Kirko, just because I don't know what to expect from Kirk. I expect him to play, but like, I kind of want to see it with Kirk. So that's where they're at.
Yeah. For me, Dak's all the way down to QB 16. Just that Cleveland defense is very good. Like I said, Geno, Tua, I have a few guys that I'm higher on this week than usual, Trevor. But yeah, I'm just worried about this game. This could be one of those under 20-point games. So take the under on this one. So I agree with you. Deshaun Watson, I'm just out 25. I'm just out on him. He can absolutely be like QB 12 and hit the rushing upside and score a few rushing TDs. But I don't think he wants to play football anymore, sadly.
All right, the running backs, boy, are they exciting. We have Ezekiel Elliott, Rico Dowdle, and Dalvin Cook. What is this, Madden 18? Holy shit. Zeke and could you imagine 5 years ago saying Dallas has Zeke and Dalvin Cook? Yeah, not anymore.
And you want Rico.
Yeah.
And you want
and
Uncle
we're starting Rico Dowdle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uncle Rico. Then Cleveland's got Jerome Ford, Pierre Strong, Nyheim Hines. I feel like my highest ranked in this is Ford. I'm scared to see how far down I'm going to have to scroll. It is Ford at 34, Zeke at 38, Rico at 42. Oh my God, it's ugly.
It is.
I still have Deonta Foreman at 48, and I don't even think he's going to play.
He might not. I think the reason why I have Rico the highest is because I expect Dallas's offense to be significantly better, and I expect them to get in the end zone, and that's why I like Rico Dowdle this week. But yeah, Ford's the pass catching back. He's running back 38. And then you get into the fun. Ezekiel Elliott, 44. Devonta Foreman at 48. I probably need to move Devonta down. It's just like he could find his way into the end zone as well as that goal line usage. So I don't mind him in that ranking, but it's just kind of ugly.
Yeah. Ford, Rico, Zeke, 33, 35, 42. Try not to do it.
Yeah, I'm with Jamie. Like, I expect the Cowboys to win.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's because the Browns are an elite defense. Like, I think the Cowboys are a good defense. I think the Browns are a better defense, but I think the Cowboys are a much better. But what it comes down to is the Cowboys seem to choke every time there's a big game.
Well,
what
yeah.
it is.
I trust Dak Prescott a hell of a lot more than I do Deshaun Watson. That's what it really comes down to.
That's a pretty low bar. That's a pretty
well,
low
and the other thing though to trust here is that Cleveland has the better pieces, slightly better pieces, but I trust Mike Zimmer when he's not the head coach of a football team. And so the defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys, he's going to scheme it up. He's going to use those weapons. It's going to be a low scoring game.
There's going to be a turnover from Watson for sure. I would bet the over on a turnover in the game from Watson.
Yeah, there might be 3 turnovers from Watson
for sure.
Wide receivers, we've got CeeDee Lamb on Dallas with Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert, is that Jalen Brooks, Kevontae Turpin, Ryan Flournoy. And the Browns, we have Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, Eli Moore, Cedric Tillman, David Bell, and Jamari Thrash. I think my highest here is obviously Jalen Tolbert. No,
obviously.
It's CeeDee Lamb. I'm low on Lamb this week. Lamb's at 4 for me this week.
Same. Exactly. I thought the exact same thing, but yes, 4.
I have Lamb at 6. Yeah, like that's about as low as I can push Lamb. Like I wanted to push lower.
Okay.
Like if you look at EPA versus outside wide receivers, Cleveland and Dallas are both elite against outside wide receivers. Guess what Cooper and Lamb are going to be? They're going to be playing outside a lot. Like they'll move them around a little bit, but yeah, overall it's a tough matchup for these guys. So
who's your next?
I think I have Cooper at, where is he? 20.
I have him at 17.
24.
He's my next
17.
highest.
17.
Yeah.
Okay, after those two, because those two are the easy ones, who's your next highest out of all those? I think mine is going to be Jerry Judy, but
yeah, it's probably Judy.
Yeah.
it's a ways.
I mean, I know it's Judy, but where is he? That's the question.
Why
It's Jerry Judy for
56.
56. 56. Yeah, Jerry Judy
Nice.
at 56. Nice.
I have Tolbert in like the legit in the 70s. Cooks is in like the 60s.
I'm not even.
I think Cooks
gonna
is
look.
washed
I
is the
can't.
problem. Like if he was good, he would be a lot higher. He's just absolutely
All
washed.
right. We can close it out with two of the tight ends we have in our back end of the draftable tight ends. We've got Jake Ferguson and David Njoku, backed up by Schoonmaker and Jordan Akins. I have Ferguson at 10, Njoku at 9. I'm pretty comfortable with both of those. I know Dak loves his tight ends. Watson seems to love his tight ends because he can't rush like he used to. So I think I'm comfortable with both of them as a mid to low end tight end one. Thoughts?
Yep. Njoku's at 7. Ferguson's at 10. Ferguson's at 10 for me. Like you know what you're getting out of both
Love
these guys.
Njoku.
Yeah, I do love Njoku. I'm just betting on the talent of it. Like his splits are pretty dramatic with and without Watson. He needs to show a little bit more with Watson. But like how they use him, you can't really put that back on the bottle. I say that as I'm continually betting on Kyle Pitts. So who the F knows what I'm talking about at this point anymore. But
who is hurt right
David
now?
Njoku, number 7. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. So tight end 10, let's go.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I mean, you could make the case. I have Njoku at 10, Ferguson at 11. I have Taysom Hill above both of these guys this week because he's just necessary. But yeah, I wish they would use Njoku better, but I put that on Watson, not anybody else.
I feel like I have Neighbors higher in this. Let me look.
No, it's Drake.
No, I have London at 18, Neighbors at 21.
Oh, too low. 10
Neighbors
and 13, Drake
Yeah.
and Neighbors.
I have Neighbors at 20, so I'm low on Neighbors. I have London at like 14.
But so we all had London higher.
Yes.
Yeah.
You tell me you can't flex Neighbors. There's got to be a way to get Neighbors into
You
your
totally
flex.
can. Of course you
I'm-
can.
No, but he
Yeah,
said
I mean,
it's like you had to choose between one. There's got to be a way to get Neighbors in there at flex.
It just depends how they built their roster because they could have gone wide receiver really heavy early on and then have both those guys. And then there's also like flex some. I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Well, that is a wrap on the AFC home game previews for week 1. Check back tomorrow at noon. We're going to do all the NFC home games. We'll see if there's any interesting developments before the Thursday and Friday night games. But like I said, we will catch you tomorrow. You are welcome. We'll see you again tomorrow, guys. Thanks everyone for tuning in.